Hello everyone, welcome back to a bedwars video, and today we're going to be talking about the Lunar Client and how it is currently probably the most superior client in terms of basically everything. The last time I made a client type video, Badlion was still pretty competitive, but ever since then things have just turned very bad for Badlion, and Lunar has completely taken over, and we are going to go into detail on this on my video. Also, I've realized that Turtles uploaded the same type of video basically pretty recently, so I will re-record parts of the video just because actually as I'm recording this intro, Lunar has just gotten a new update, so I guess I can provide some new information about that, which he didn't. But anyway, here's the seal of approval that he gave me to upload this video. Anyways, into the video. Alright, we are in a game in Airshow, and I'm just going to go over a few of the things that have changed since the previous update that makes Lunar much better. Firstly is the addition of Nick Hider. If you didn't know, I have been trying to go for a win streak recently, and I was up to 20 or something, and someone joined my game and they recognized my nick, and I basically lost. I got cross map. Well, to be fair, I was getting emeralds, however, they did recognize my nick, which while in that game it was not really, I guess, their fault. They were somewhat better than me. In other games, obviously, say if I get a high win streak, snipers can target, because I made the great mistake of just using the same nick for 4 months. Obviously, with Nick Hider, I can use that without having to worry about people knowing my nick. And that is probably one of the best updates Lunar has gotten, and it's pretty recent addition, although not the most recent. It's one of the more recent additions. For streaming as well, for YouTubers, Nick Hider can be very useful, and I think ever since the addition of Nick Hider, we've begun seeing a lot of movement towards Lunar Client. Like people like Bedless just switched to Lunar. Fizzy was considering switching to Lunar, but didn't, since Badlion, I believe, offered him a pretty good deal. Gamerboy is using Lunar. Lots of people are switching to Lunar, and I believe Purple, don't quote me, but I believe Purple has used Lunar in one of his recent streams or something, I think. But yeah, we've begun seeing massive movement to Lunar, and if the big creators are moving to Lunar, then all the player base is also going to be moving to Lunar, which I believe that we've seen. Well, Lunar's announced that they have seen a lot of major milestones in terms of player count, such as 100,000 concurrent players, and they've seen millions of players, not concurrent, but millions of players playing it daily, stuff like that. We are going middle. But yeah, Nick Hider is probably one of the biggest changes and additions to Lunar Client, which has just completely flipped the game, I guess, since that was one of the main advantages of having Badlion. Secondly, we are going to talk about some smaller changes to Lunar. They actually have just got an update a few hours ago as of saying this. We have some smaller additions such as Crosshair, which obviously is just for the PvP additions. I don't think Crosshair was a major deal. But then we also have something like Skyblock add-ons, since a lot of people would be using Badlion or Forge for Skyblock add-ons, since I'm not very experienced with Skyblock, but I'm pretty sure it's quite a major Skyblock mod. And now they can use just one client for everything, one client for Bedwars, Skywars, and Skyblock. And even now they can use it for single player worlds as well, because I think, as of saying this, Lunar has fairly recently, not so recently, but pretty recently, added a lot more Minecraft versions, such as 1.16, 1.16, however you say it, 1.12, 1.8, 1.7 was always there. So people can use it for 1.7 servers, 1.8 servers like Hypixel, and single player worlds, SMPs, whatever else, since I have opened an SMP with a private SMP, obviously, just with friends and things like that, and I didn't get him. And using 1.16 on Lunar means that I don't have to switch to Forge or Badlion, or just vanilla every time I finish playing on Hypixel. I can just use one client for everything. Obviously, a little while ago we had the issue with Luna where free look wasn't really a mod because it had some issues with it and was removed, and some people switched to Badlion just for that. I'm not sure why, but some people really like it. And obviously a lot of those mods got fixed quite quickly, and Luna has basically got every single mod in Badlion that Badlion has. There isn't really any reason that you would use Badlion now, aside from one thing that I'm going to talk about fairly soon. Onto the next thing, Luna. We're just gonna go over just things that have always been, I guess, unique to Luna. Well, not unique to Luna, but just factors that have made Luna better than Badlion. Such as, obviously, it's much cleaner design. The GUI scale is really easy to organize. The mods are really easy. You can change how they look. It's very clean, very easy, very intuitive. You can easily. It's very user-friendly, that's the correct word. Badlion is very complicated to set up. When I downloaded Badlion 3.0, in my Badlion Client 3.0 video that I made a few months ago, I found it quite annoying to set up, and it took me quite a while, since it has all mods cluttered, and I found it a bit annoying. And I've tried Badlion recently. It has improved on a few things, but it stayed pretty similar. And I don't think they have really made an effort to completely restructure or change fully, which is why Luna is just much cleaner. Obviously, in terms of other competition, there is PvPLounge, which is an alternative, but then again, PvPLounge is suffering from the same issues that old Luna did, which was not having enough mods, since a major issue with Luna in its early days was that it didn't have enough mods, which is the main reason me and other people also use Badlion. Also that you couldn't change the, what do you call it, the GUI opener or whatever, mod menu, which was, I changed it to grave. It was right shift, and as you know, I'm left-handed, so you have to use right shift to shift. I really couldn't change that just to use Luna, so I would use Badlion or Forge just because it didn't have that. But obviously Luna, really, you can tell that they really care about everything and every aspect of the community, and they started off just focusing on the PvP side with all their PvP mods, but they've really branched out and covering some of the aspects that even Badlion has dominated for so long, and still managing to do that, but better. When you look at the mods itself, the mods are much more, I guess, detailed, much more easy to set up, and much more cleaner looking. If you see the keystrokes mod on Luna compared to Badlion, you'll see what I mean. The text is centered on Luna. I'm not sure whether Badlion has made that a thing, but the last time I checked it wasn't able to be centered. I feel like it just looks much cleaner on Luna as well, whereas on Badlion the mods just don't look as clean. Next, we're going to talk about obviously something that a lot of people care about, which is frames, FPS, and that obviously for most cases Luna tends to be much better at. Badlion obviously rose to popularity because it did so well in terms of frames compared to Forge, which is obviously one of the reasons I use it. I found that it gave much less lag specs to Forge while still offering so many mods, and Luna has now done that and even better, getting insane FPS boosts. And even with Badlion 3.0, I still feel Luna is much better in terms of frames. Some people, and on some devices, I have found that Badlion tends to perform slightly better, but this difference is very slight, and on the majority of cases, Luna is has much better performance. As I'm saying this, obviously, we still have Luna, which there are a few small aspects that Badlion is superior at, which obviously a major one is replay mod, which obviously a lot of people using Luna, I've heard a lot of people comment that it would be amazing if they could add replay mod, since that's a feature that a lot of people use, especially in montages and cinematics and things like that, and for many it's a real convenience that they have to switch to, I guess, Badlion or Forge to use those mods. So obviously some next steps for Luna would be to incorporate a replay mod, which they probably will start doing, since it's one of the major updates that they really can be adding, which is one of the main things they haven't really added. Lick Hider was one for a while before they added it, and then replay mod is now the next step. Obviously, there are a few disappointments with Lunar, which is the removal of their client-side anti-cheat, which, look, I'm not too sure the exact details into why there is a thread about it, and I will link that before if you would like to read it. I'm not gonna really state it right here since I want to keep this video fairly short. And obviously Badlion has the client-side anti-cheat, which people may prefer it for that. It was quite a shock that Lunar did end up removing the client-side anti-cheat, since it had been used on multiple servers, including the one I'm currently playing on actually, Australian server, which I get decent ping on, as you can tell. And a lot of people really saw it as the future, but then Lunar out of nowhere decided to remove it, so I guess that's one setback. However, there are not lots of other positives which makes Lunar the best client, which I feel why Badlion really does not have much of a place in the client community, I guess, competition anymore. So overall, with a lot of recent Lunar updates such as Nick Hider, the addition of lots of other mods that really have diminished Badlion's value in terms of having lots of mods, have caused a lot of YouTubers to switch to Lunar, a lot of creators, which has persuaded lots of other players to switch to Lunar, and often you can join solo games and see every single person using Lunar Client, which really shows that Lunar has really spread among the community because of their excellent standards in terms of the client, like versatility, how intuitive it is, and how clean it is, and how easy it is to use. It really dominates in terms of every sort of category, and it has a few more updates, with a few more mods. It really would be the all-in-one Minecraft client with basically everything you want. Forge, I've for long said that Forge is the best because you can you can customize it any way you want. I still think that, but I feel like for 99.9% of people, Lunar has enough mods, which obviously in terms of mods no one can beat Forge, but in how convenient Lunar is and how clean it is, how great the frames are, I think we may start getting to that point where I would say Lunar is much better than Forge. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please comment what you think below. If you prefer Badlion, obviously, please comment why. I always enjoy reading other people's opinions on this topic, which is why I have made quite a few videos on this. But anyway, I thank you for watching. Sorry if this video is a bit repetitive, especially after Turtles made a video on this already, but I recorded parts of it, and I decided to re-record parts of it just to make it slightly different, but yeah, I hope it's not too repetitive. Anyways, I will see you next week for the next video, which is an interesting one. It's a bit of a collaboration, so I will see you then.